Lesson 61, Solving Equations in 2 Steps. In each of the problems that we will be working today, we will need to use 2 different operations in order to isolate the x. Remember, in every single equation, we're always asking ourselves, how do I get x all by itself? What do I need to get rid of? So let's do that in example 1. The problem is 3x plus 2 equals 7. I want to solve for x. I need x to be completely by itself. What numbers do I need to get rid of in order for x to be completely by itself? Well, the first number I will need to get rid of is the 2, and then I will get rid of the 3. If you're wondering about how we know which one to get rid of first, it's kind of like peeling an onion. You're going to deal with the things that are in the outer area first, and then whatever is directly attached to x will come second, or last in this case. So the first thing that we need to do is look at what is happening between the x and the 2. Right now we can see that they are being added. So in order to get rid of the 2, we will subtract 2 on both sides. When we do that, it completely eliminates the 2 on the left-hand side, leaving just the 3x. On the right-hand side, we have 7 minus 2, which is 5. The second step is to eliminate the 3. So we ask ourselves, what is happening between the 3 and the x? They're being multiplied. The opposite operation would be to divide. So I will divide both sides of my equation by 3. When I do that, 3 divided by 3 becomes 1, and I don't have to write the 1. I can just put down the x. I'm left with 5/3. You can leave this improper unless they've told you to turn it into a mixed number. Alright, in example 2, we have the same operations to deal with. We're going to have to do some addition or subtraction, and we'll have to do either multiplication or division. This time, though, we are dealing with fractions. So I find my variable, x. I decide what do I need to get rid of in order to solve for x. I'm going to have to eliminate this negative 1/2 and then this 2/3. I ask myself what's happening between the x and the 1/2. They're being subtracted. So I will add 1/2 on both sides in order to make the 1/2 go away. When I do that, I'm going to have to get a common denominator. 10/3 and 1/2 have a common denominator of 6. Remember, we ask ourselves, 3 will go into 6 how many times? It'll go in 2 times, so I would multiply the top by 2 also. When I do that, 10 times 2 is 20. 1/2, when I want to change that into a denominator of 6, I ask myself, 2 will go into 6 how many times? 3 times. So I multiply the numerator by 3, and I get 3. Now I can add 26 and 3/6 is 23/6. I'm going to set that equal to 2/3 x. So now we're ready for our final step. I need to get x by itself, and it's currently being multiplied by 2/3. Typically I would do the opposite operation, which would be to divide, but I can't divide fractions. So instead I have to multiply by the reciprocal, 3/2. And whatever I do to one side of the equation, I do the same thing to the other. Everything cancels out on the left, leaving just x. I look for things that cancel on the right. The only thing I see is this 3 and 6. So when we multiply, our final answer is 23/4. Now it's time for you to try one. Remember to pause the video, try it by yourself first, and then turn the video back on so that you can see if you got it right. Alright, remember we're solving for x, and we need to look at the things we need to eliminate. We've got to get rid of the 1/6, and we have to get rid of the 2/3. We want to get rid of the 1/6 first, because we always do our addition or subtraction first, if possible, and then we deal with whatever is attached to the x second. Alright, to get rid of the 1/6, we ask ourselves what is happening between the x and the 1/6. They're being subtracted, so we'll need to add 1/6 to both sides. When we do that, it eliminates the 1/6 entirely on the left-hand side, leaving just 2/3 x. On the right-hand side, we need to get a common denominator. Our denominator will be 6, which means the lower fraction is not going to change at all. The upper fraction, 1/2, is going to turn into 3/6. When I add 3/6 and 1/6, I get 4/6. You can reduce that now, but it's unnecessary because when you do your multiplication, it's going to reduce then. Solving for x means that I need to get rid of the 2/3. I can't divide a fraction, so I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, 3/2. And whatever I do to one side, I do the same thing to the other side. Now I have just x, and I look for things that will cancel on this right-hand side. The 2 cancels with the 4, leaving 2, and the 3 cancels with the 6, leaving 2. When I multiply, I get 2 over 2. That reduces to 1. Alright, I want you to try one more problem. Notice that there is a mixed number in this problem, and you're going to need to change that mixed number into an improper fraction. Pause the video, try it by yourself, and then turn the video back on to see how you did. Alright, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to change that mixed number into an improper fraction. 1 1/4 will become 5/4. Now let's look for the things we need to eliminate so that we can isolate x and get it all by itself. The first thing I will do is I will add 1/3 to both sides, because that will get rid of my 1/3. When I do that, it cancels out completely on the left-hand side, leaving just the 5/4 x. 3/5 and 1/3 need a common denominator in order to add them. So 15 is my common denominator. 5 goes into 15 3 times, so I'll multiply the numerator by 3. That gives me 9/15. 3 goes into 15 5 times, so I'll multiply the numerator by 5. So I have 5/15. When I put these two fractions together, I get 14/15. Now I need to get rid of the 5/4. I'll multiply by the reciprocal, which is 4/5. And then I'm going to look for things that might cancel. I don't see anything that's going to cancel, so it's time to multiply straight across. 4 times 14 gives me 56. And 5 times 15 is 75.